Have you ever wondered how some Vancouver-based businesses have grown to become wildly successful nationally or even internationally? Hi, my name is Reece Sims, and today we are going behind the brand to talk to the CEOs, influencers, and founders who have made it happen. As the founder and CEO of 3 franchise companies, Brian Scudamore has a reputation for making ordinary industries exceptional. Brian started his first business, 1-800-GOT-JUNK, in Vancouver at the age of 18 and later went on to franchise that company as a way to expand operations. Today, the company has more than 850 trucks on the road throughout 170 locations in the US, Canada, and Australia. Okay, Brian, so let's start off with some quick fire questions to get to know a little bit about yourself.
Perfect.
So, can you give us a 6-word summary to describe yourself?
I think I'm a fun, quirky, different individual. I take the road less traveled. I'm someone that believes in possibility and doing things differently.
Awesome. Okay, and what is your favorite thing to do in Vancouver?
I love the city. I love the water, the mountains. I love hanging with my family. Anything that happens around those areas is great. Love skiing in Whistler. Huge fan of the snow. We didn't get a lot this year, but next year it will happen, guaranteed.
And for creative inspiration, do you prefer cocktails or coffee, and why?
I love my wine, but I don't know if I do it for inspiration. Coffee for inspiration. I can be found in coffee shops doing a typical work day. Sometimes I'll go to 5 or 6 coffee shops. I drink a lot of coffee. It helps with the ADD and keeps me focused, and I love the buzz and the energy of a coffee shop.
All right, and if you had one superpower, what would it be and why?
If I had one superpower, it's a great question. I think I would fly. I love planes, I love hot air balloons, I love being in the sky, and I think it would be a neat thing to have wings and soar.
Great, okay, and finish this sentence for me. I can't go anywhere without my...
I can't go anywhere without my iPhone.
I hear
To
that
me,
often.
yeah, I'm sure it's sad. I connect and I also disconnect, so I'm not one that has my ringer on very often. I'm not checking my email constantly. When I'm away on vacation, I actually get my assistant to change my passcode to my email so I can't get into my phone. But I think the reason why I can't go anywhere without it is I love spending time with my friends, my family, and I love taking pictures. So I've got tens of thousands of photos on my phone, and that's probably the real reason I need it.
All right, great. And the last question I have for you is, why is Vancouver such a great place to live and start a business in?
I was born in San Francisco, which is on the water, very cosmopolitan, and when I moved to Vancouver and my mother remarried when I was 8, I felt at home here because it's similar to San Francisco, but it has the snow, the mountains, and the skiing, which I connected to in a big way. So to me, it's the most beautiful city in the world. It's so diverse in terms of culture, culinary diversity. It's incredible. Everywhere I go in the world, I feel like when I come back to Vancouver, I'm pretty lucky.
Okay, Brian, tell us the story behind your brand. How did it become the success that it is today?
It's taken 26 years to get to where we are today. So I think someone famous once said these overnight success stories sure take a long time. It has been slow and steady. It took us 8 years to get to $1 million in revenue. Today we'll do 250 million in Canadian dollars across all 4 brands.
Wow.
So it's taken a long time to ramp up, and it's been slow and steady growth as much as people might think, wow, look where we are today. It started with me being in a McDonald's drive-thru in Kerrisdale, seeing a beat-up old pickup truck. It had plywood sides on the side. It said Mark's Hauling on the truck, and it was filled with junk, and I thought, there's a great way to pay for college. I'll go buy a $700 pickup truck of my own, which I did, start hauling junk, driving down alleys, laneways, knocking on doors. When someone had a pile of junk, I'd introduce myself and cart it away, and that was the birth of 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
That's amazing. So what makes your brand unique?
The uniqueness, I think, is in the customer experience. Our brand, anyone that ever comes into our space sees the first thing on the wall says it's all about people with my name below it. That is everything to us, is finding the right people, treating them right. If we find the right people who care about customers, the customer service is easy. And we wow our customers in every way we possibly can. People call us, and the uniqueness is because they love what we do. People often say, your people are just so great. Great that we swept up and we hauled away their junk and had a nice smile, but it really comes down to people just feel good using our companies. And whether it's 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Wow One Day Painting, we've got a painting business, we're in the moving space with You Move Me, and then our newest brand, Shack Shine, which is windows, gutters, power washing. All 4 businesses follow the same premise of taking something very ordinary, whether it's junk removal, or window washing and making it exceptional.
That's great. So speaking of exceptional, I know your mantra is really making ordinary business exceptional. So can you talk a little bit about how you started doing that with junk removal?
The whole taking the ordinary and making it exceptional is all about people. So how do we find people that are in an ordinary career, or they're in an ordinary business like ours and just thriving to figure out, they've got this hunger for how do I become exceptional. And we believe we give them the systems, the processes, the leadership development to be exceptional. So if I think in junk removal, what are we doing that's exceptional? It's the customer experience. It's the call ahead that a customer gets 30 minutes before we arrive within a promise window that we've guaranteed to say, okay, you know, I'm Bob and I'm in the truck and I'm on my way and this is when you can expect us. It's just doing what we say we will do. We recycle 61.3% of the junk that we take anywhere from Canada, United States, and Australia.
Now, you mentioned the other two companies that you've more recently started up. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yeah, I realized that if we could make the ordinary business of junk removal, which was a very fragmented mom and pop business, exceptional, and build a brand across 3 countries, why couldn't we do it with other home services? So I was looking to have my house painted. I had 3 different people come in and give me quotes. The first 2 guys came in, smelled the cigarette smoke. They were late. You know, one guy was still smoking when he came in to my door. And I just thought, you know, this is exactly what I expected, was not good, precise, professional customer experience. And the 3rd guy came in and he ran through the rates. He was uniformed. He had a clean, shiny van out front. And he said his quality is exceptional. He's done it for 22 years. His price would be the same as everybody else because he was competitive. But the kicker, what got me excited, is he said, once we agree on painting day, we will paint your home in a day. So I thought, okay, we found the next business. We can do this in an exceptional way. If somebody's moving, then you know, the first call they get from us when we're en route is to say, we know you've packed your coffee maker. What kind of hot beverage can we bring you? And some people will say, you know, I'll have this big detailed long drink from Starbucks that costs $7. Great, whatever the drink is, we'll bring it. That's what a friend would do on moving day. And maybe they'd bring you beer, but we're not gonna be doing that. And then at the end of the day, we're the first ones to give them their little housewarming gift, which is a little plant and a You Move Me mug and a thank you card signed by the team. So little tiny things to bookend the whole moving experience to say, you know, listen, we do a great job, but we're also going to show we care. And we're going to try and move you, not just your boxes.
And one of the overarching things that I really noticed between the 3 companies is your attention to customer service. Do you have any best practices in terms of customer service?
The best practice I have is find the right people and take your time recruiting. All too often I see other entrepreneurs say, I just need a body, I need someone in this seat. And they compromise. When they're busy and they're under capacity and they need to find people, they compromise. So never compromise, take the time. You're better off saying no to business to not get a poor reputation by having the wrong people in place. Wait till you have the right people and get it right. What we do around here, one of our hiring practices is an unwritten practice called the barbecue test. When I'm interviewing someone, could I see that I'd like to have them out at a company barbecue? Are they fun? Are they interesting? Are they interested? Are they just good people who get our business and want to be a part of what we're building with us? And so we're careful. If you spend a lot of time with the people you work with, you want to be careful in finding the right people.
So in terms of corporate culture, let's talk a little bit about some extraordinary or interesting practices that you do in your offices. So can you tell us a little bit about something?
Of course, we have a very open office environment, so no private offices, not for myself, not for our president. We're all out and about in the open. I don't have a desk that I sit at permanently because I'm so ADD that I need to move around, but it's also a chance to get to know other people in the company. I'll go sit beside someone who I've never really spent time with, and you get to listen what they're working on and ask them some questions and get to know them. We also have a daily huddle. It's a 7-minute stand-up, high-energy meeting where it's all about, you know, what's the good news? What are the key metrics in the business? Tell us what's going on in your department. We'll have someone up every day to talk about what they're working on and what their priorities are. And then missing systems. What's broken? What do we need to improve on? What do we need to fix?
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about your office for a second. Who would think that there would be an office like this for waste removal or junk removal? It's so great in here.
Yeah, if we're about customer experience and doing things in an exceptional way, we want our walls to tell the stories. We're all about telling stories of our history and our culture and to show off the uniqueness. And then the open office environment, everyone's in bench seating. They can move around as well and get to know other people, but it's just a fun atmosphere that is a little road less traveled. Most companies have private offices. Most companies don't do it the way we do it. And we like to do things differently.
So the final question that I have for you today are, what are 3 things that you wish you knew when you first started your business way back when you were 18?
It's a great question. I think I'm often asked another version of that question is, what would you do differently if you knew what you knew now? And the answer is nothing. There aren't 3 things. There's no things that I wish I knew in advance. I am who I am, and I've taken the road that I have where I've made a lot of mistakes. We have a meeting room here. All our meeting rooms have names, and one of them is named WTF, which stands for willing to fail. We want people to be willing to fail and make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes because that's where the learning comes from. So if I had all this knowledge, if there were 3 things I knew in advance, it wouldn't have helped me. I needed to make the mistakes. If I think of what 3 things, if I rephrase the question, what would I pass on to others in terms of 3 key points, I think you got to have a clear vision. You need to know where your business is going, not necessarily how to get there. Find the right people, treat them right, and systematize your best practices. Make sure that what you do well and what works, that you've systematized in a way that others can replicate.
Okay, who would have thought that you could make junk removal, moving, and painting exceptional? Now, we would love to hear your exceptional experiences with Vancouver-based businesses. Please connect with us today, and until next time, my name is Reece Sims, your go-to gal for all things branding.